All right, so if you think of franchises like Toy Story, or even movies like Up, or even my personal favorite, Wall-E, you think of a company which has been a juggernaut of animation for decades, and we're talking, of course, of Pixar. But I would also caution you by thinking about movies like Brave, or even like the Car franchise. This franchise, this movie studio used to be unstoppable with the row successes that they had. It started off with Toy Story, and John Lasseter was the driving force behind that success. I don't know how much more he has to do with that company. I think he's had kind of a falling out with them, and if not, he's had less of an influence on him, at least. That's my way of saying that I'm going to go see Onward. And I am intrepid about seeing this movie. If you look at the previews and the poster even, it doesn't look like, for me personally, the character design isn't really all that well, and the premise of it just isn't my cup of tea. But again, we're talking about Pixar, and we're talking about Pixar, the studio that has rivaled its parent company in quality for so many movies, that I remain hopeful for this movie. So I'm going to go see Onward in just a few seconds. I'll be right back to let you guys know what I think about this movie. All right, see you in just a few seconds. Bye. All right, so guys, this this story begins where we learn we live in a land of fantasy. So we pick up the story. Well, it goes into the history of the land, where it says that the land was ruled by magic. Then suddenly they decided to go against magic and to embrace technology because it was more predictable. And so that's where our story takes off. We're in kind of like a modern day fantasy realm where we have blue elves that are living side by side of manticores and other various fantasy creatures. So we're focused on this one small family. This single mom is raising two boys. And we find out that the younger of the two boys is a very timid, very kind of shy and introverted guy that wants to break out of his shell and is going to high school and trying to spread his wings and making checklists and bettering himself, and he feels like he's failing himself over and over again. And because of him just turning 16, he was given a gift from his now deceased father, which is like a magic staff. When the spell that brings their father back to life for one day only works halfway. So we get the bottom half of his father, and it leads to very, very hilarious situations. That's the premise of the movie, is that these boys are on a quest, led by the older, more impetuous brother, who believes more of leading with his heart, and believes in these the magic side of this realm, and because of that, they're led on this kind of like a quest to finish that spell and to bring their whole father back, so that they can spend that one day together that the spell has promised them. Again, that's how the story begins. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm not a fantasy guy. In fact, I've come out in very few words and said I do not like fantasy. I don't like fantasy. But this story right here had so much humanity injected into this fantasy environment that at times I forgot it was about blue elves. I forgot that there were dragons on the screen. I forgot that they were casting spells. What I focused on was the love that these two brothers had for each other, and the love that this mother had for her two sons, and just that the love that they felt for each other. And if you focus on that, man, this movie packs a really big wallop, especially at the end, where everything comes to a head, and the whole plot just completes itself, and I'm at a loss for words for this. I wasn't expecting to like it, but I wasn't expecting. I wouldn't believe that I absolutely liked it as much as I did. I loved this movie. I loved this movie only for the fact that it had real emotional impact in this, in the situations that we had. Oh man, let me just address this. The movie was perfectly paced. I thought that there was not one point where it lagged, where I lost interest in it. There was no one point that went too quickly either, that they glossed over. It was perfectly paced. I thought that when we came to the conclusion of the movie, it felt like it was very earned, and so much earned that at the end of it, I was literally wiping the tears away from the corner of my eyes. I'm a 50-year-old man crying at a children's film, but it touched me so much that I loved this movie, and it is absolutely worth a watch. I would recommend seeing it in a film. I would not miss this movie in the theaters. This is a definite rush and go out see. And it doesn't look like it. From the outward appearance of this movie, you would not expect this quality of movie that we got out of this. But like I said, it focused more on the humanity of these characters. And because of that, man, it made you empathize with them, and to feel the same feelings that they were feeling at the exact same time that they were feeling it on the screen. And that's exactly what happened with this film. This is totally worth a watch, guys. I'm going to give it 100%. I absolutely 100% love this movie, and I will definitely be watching it when it comes on Disney+. It was superb. I'm going to get moving on now. I would like to say, every single day I check to see if there's anything posted on the drive-in website. It hasn't yet, but we are in mid-March right now. So in about a month, I predict that the drive-in will be opening up, and then we'll change venues, and we'll instead of going to the Cinemark, we'll be going to the drive-in theater instead. But anyways, as always, I'm going to wish everybody peace. Monte. I'll see you guys later, and goodbye.